So I've gotten a lot of requests to explain exactly why I like Manus. Manus is a fairly new general AI agent that launched back in March, and I was a little late on it. I joined about in April, but it's been really cool to see the journey so far. I joined while it was in beta. It's still in beta, but it's getting a little bit more to where it can handle more users. So they've actually created an unlimited invite code, which I will link down below this video so you can join too. So just looking at the website, it's a little bit different from other agents. I think it's more close to the operator that ChatGPT offers. But you can see here some of the use cases. And if you're not sure exactly how to use Manus, this is a good place to start. You can see how other users are using Manus. So like one person went in and had Manus actually book a trip to Japan. The cool thing about Manus is it actually operates on a browser, so you can see what Manus is doing in real time, and I'll show you this a little bit later. You can follow along while it's clicking buttons, while it's logging in, and basically doing tasks that you used to have to do manually. So some other use cases here is it does a lot of research. It's actually really great at going out and searching the web, and other agents do this as well. But I find Manus just thinks a lot more uh, complexly. Like it takes a bunch of data and it thinks about it in a really interesting manner. So I like to throw things into Manus alongside of other AI agents such as Grok, ChatGPT, and Claude. So you can see just all the different use cases. You can split it up here. So lots of people using it for research, for productivity, so like finding potential customers, website SEO optimization, which is actually something that I've been meaning to do to my website. So that's what we're going to use it for. You can also do it for contract review. I know you can do that with ChatGPT as well. You can upload files and have it analyze attachments, but Manus just provides a little bit more context. It uses a couple different agents alongside of ChatGPT. It uses Claude. It uses all of them synchronously, so it makes the output a little more robust. So let's get started. Whenever you join Manus, you will see something similar to this. It'll just show a prompt screen, and it took me a little while to figure out exactly what these things mean. So here you can see this is your credits. I have 21,000 credits because I got gifted 19,000 credits on this account last month. So I started the month with 19,900 and then got a whole bunch of other credits. So I still haven't used them all. You can see that you can add attachments. So this is really helpful if you have some sort of, say you've gone to Claude and you build out some requirements within Claude, which is sometimes a little bit better than other agents to build that out, and that can help you optimize your credit usage. A lot of people have complained that Manus is kind of expensive on the credit side. So anything that can help you keep those credits down helps. For me personally, I'm more on the development side. So we're looking at US hourly rates of, 75 to even $200 an hour. So whenever you're only paying $200 for a whole month of Manus's credits and you're getting hours and hours worth of work, to me, that's a little more worth it. But I can see where some people are a little more skeptical. So if we go over here, you can see on the left-hand side all of the things that I've been working on. I've been working on a ton. You can see here's a place where you can invite friends. I have a couple of invites left because they kept giving them to me. So people just got tired of listening to me share invites. So you can add knowledge to Manus too. So if you say you have this for a particular company, this is actually my game development account. I have a company development account, which I ran through all 19,000 credits, so I had to get a separate one to finish some projects I was working on. If you have a company-specific account, you can actually add knowledge to it, and it will pull from that knowledge for every time you can create a new chat context. So Manus works off of chat context. The lower tiers actually have less context than the higher ones, so you will run out of context. Now, in the beginning of beta, it was actually failing to inherit the context into the next chat. And so it was very, very frustrating. But I think that's an issue that they fixed. The last maybe 10 times I've tried to take a chat whose context has been exhausted, which basically means it's all the memory in that chat. It's a way that they do memory management. And then you have to carry it over into the next chat. By inheriting the context, you're able to just pick up where you left off. And the times that it fails to inherit, you can retry without using credits. But sometimes you have to kind of start from scratch. And if it's something in the middle of a huge task, where maybe you're doing a research task, that could be a little bit more tricky. For me, I was doing code management, so I was connecting to GitHub and using Manus's server that it's working off of to go in and push code up to a repository. So I wasn't losing that code in case, the server gets fried or something, which did happen to me a couple of times. So this is something I've been meaning to do. I want Manus to basically do an SEO report for me for my website and recommend some better SEO practices. Right now, interestingly enough, I just rebuilt my website in Lovable, which means it's a React website, which is actually not SEO friendly. So SEO is something that is very interesting to me at the moment because it's going to be a little bit harder to work around how I built the website. So what I'm going to tell Manus is, and I learned from Dan Martell, you should always tell an AI agent what it is. So you are an SEO expert. Analyze REI integrator. And I'm giving it the direct link because this thing actually crawls websites. So you give it a link and it will go into its browser. It'll look around. It can read things off of websites. I've found that some other models are not as savvy with the scanning of websites. It's particularly they could be okay with the context, the text on the page and everything, but whenever it's looking at the design, not so much. Manus has a little bit more power in that regard. So I could say, hey, I want you to redesign this site or carry over these design elements. And it's actually pretty decent. So analyze reiintegrator.com and give it a score. Give it a score for how well it is done for SEO. Give some recommendations for how the website could be improved. This website is built in Lovable, so keep that in mind. So I'm just going to give it that and see where it goes. And we'll see how many credits it uses up. So right now I have 21,318. And you'll see with every action, it will use credits. So a lot of times it does ask clarifying questions, which is actually really cool because, like, for me, I'm not thinking about all the things that it's requiring in order to do its job. So let's see, are there any specific areas of SEO you're most interested in? I'm interested in all of them. Do you have any particular competitors? Anyone offering web services to real estate investors? We'll just keep it pretty narrow. Are there specific keywords? Let's see, real estate investors and entrepreneurs looking to improve their systems. Since the site is built with Lovable, are there any known platform-specific SEO features or limitations I can consider? It is built with React. What are your main goals? Higher traffic for sure. That would be nice. Thank you. And better rankings for high volume SEO terms related to number 3. And I'm just gonna, and it understands whenever you're talking to that. Some agents that I've worked with, that you have to explain things very, very literal. Manus, I think I've been a little bit spoiled with Manus because I don't have to be as specific. It kind of picks up what I'm talking about through context, which is cool. So I'm going to answer these questions. And it's so polite. That's another thing I love. So it's always telling me thank you, or I'm so sorry I made this mistake. Or I know you're getting frustrated. Like, it has like a little bit of EQ built in, which is kind of cool. It makes it feel like a better experience, like you're working with a coworker, which I like. So each of these little pieces right here, this will actually take up credits. So right now it hasn't gone down. Oh, actually it has. So I did start with 300 credits. This is the plus 272 is my daily credits. So they've started the, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but they did start giving away 300 daily credits, which is super cool. Before, people were complaining that this was a very expensive platform, so they are definitely taking some strides to make it more affordable or more usable on the free plan. So for the free plan, you get 300 free credits. They've even introduced a $19 a month plan where you get, I think, 1,900 credits. Before, they just had the $39 a month plan where it was 3,900 credits. And some people, they would prefer to kind of try it out a little bit more before dedicating $39 a month. And we're just watching it use credits. So far it's used about 48. That is the equivalent of 48 cents. So if you really want to put a dollar amount on different tasks, then that's a way to do it. We can follow along here with what Manus is doing as it's browsing its website. So it's actually looking here, and sometimes you can even see it scroll down. It does work off of task lists, interestingly enough. So it will build, every time you start a new chat, it will build this little to-do list for itself, and you can actually follow along and see how far it's gotten done. So you can see there's some X's on here, and it's still got a ways to go, but it's actually clicking on elements right now, which is not something that a lot of AI agents can do right now. Another thing about Manus too is you can actually interrupt it. If you see it going off track and like completely just going into the weeds or in the wrong direction, which it's happened to me quite a few times. Sometimes it misunderstands what I'm saying. This is a case of being contextually unclear whenever you're talking to AI. Then you can actually interrupt it and say, hey, I didn't mean that. I meant this other thing. And it might take a pause, but it'll come back and say, oh, understood. I'm going to do it this way instead of the way that I was doing it. And then it can go like down one path, and then it'll come back and actually finish doing what it said it would do after, because it keeps that full context. So that's what I enjoy about it. Other AI models I've been trying out a lot lately. So Lovable, you can't interrupt. It also doesn't remember from one command to the next. So you have to rebuild that context almost every time you talk to it, which is really frustrating. Other, like ChatGPT, it might go down a certain rabbit hole, but it doesn't really remember where it was going in the first place. So you can't get it back on track, whereas Manus has a little bit more memory. So it's actually completed things. So let's see what this SEO report looks like. It says, I have completed the SEO analysis for ariaintegrator.com. The overall SEO score is 68 out of 100. I do believe that is a failing grade, you guys. The website has a good foundation, especially in its in-page elements. Likely use of server-side rendering for its React build. However, there are key areas for improving. So let's see what this looks like. You can see it kind of builds it into this nice report. And it says, prepared by Manus, SEO expert. It's so funny. You can download this as, I believe, as a PDF, where you can actually save directly to a Google Drive, which is nice because sometimes if you download it directly, this is actually a .md file, so sometimes it's a little difficult to make pretty after the fact if you don't download it in the right way. So it has an executive summary. It says it demonstrates a good foundation. It gives it an overall score. You can see that it's doing exactly what I asked it to do. It's missing a sitemap. Okay. So got a key areas for improvement: absence of a sitemap, lack of a content marketing strategy. So it's wanting some blogs, some articles, comprehensive keyword research. Let's see. So on-page SEO, just kind of skimming through this. I will go back and read it in depth later because this is something I need to do for my own business. But if you have a website, maybe it's built in Go High Level or WordPress or GoDaddy or whatever you're using, then you can just throw the URL in here. It's pretty, site builder agnostic. So it can do a report like this for you. On-page SEO, and sometimes it can even rebuild the website for you. And I think the hosting piece of it is not quite up to standard. Like with Lovable, you can attach a domain and all that. I'm not 100% sure how this works. I would be more interested in pulling the code off of Manus and hosting it somewhere else. So we have title, tags, so that's good. We've got meta description, that's good. Good hierarchical structure, content quality and keywords. Page load speed is reasonable. Responsive website. There is all this technical stuff. Yes. So, some competitor insights. Okay, I'll have to look into these competitors. I've never heard of them before. Apparently, it thinks I do SEO, which I do not, which is why I'm having it run this report. So, probably not the best. I probably need to give it a little more context on competitors. So, we have a justification. So, it gives me some high priority things. That's good. And then, yeah, so that's the end. I think it could be a little more robust. For example, I went a little crazy and I had it complete a 5-year vision for myself. And this thing is, I downloaded it and put it into Google Doc. It's 12 pages long. I basically just spilled my guts on everything that I'm working on, and it said I need a 5-year plan based on all of these different things. So it gave me phases, it gave me let's see, this is all this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this is, so basically as an owners club, all of our journey, our goal is to become an owner. So it was cool to see this because I didn't specifically say that, but it said the transition of the owner from day-to-day operational involvement to a strategic oversight role is a critical component of this 5-year vision, which I am on board with 100%. So it talks about like delegation. It's very, very robust and wordy. And I ran this through 3 different agents just to see what the breakdown is. Grok was a little more editable, a little more digestible. So I went over there and kind of adjusted it. I might bring that Grok version back over here to give all those little details back, feed it back in, because you can do that. You can go in between AI agents and make each version as you skip through agents a little better. Like this could be your final version once you've gone back a few times, because this was, let's see, this probably took up maybe 50 to 100 credits, so not too bad. This is a $1 5-year strategic plan where this would take me a gazillion years. They even broke it down by quarter, with KPIs, with potential exit plans, with how to get partner alignment. But yeah, so that's your freebie. That's what I last ran through here. So I hope that you get a chance to try out Manus. It's super cool and it definitely has a place within your AI agents. It's just figuring out what your use cases are because every business is different. So yeah, try it out and see what you can get into. Peace.